A fine actor, a very funny man, and I consider a good friend, Mr. Mclean Stevenson. McLean.
You look like Patty Laverne and Shirley here. Country and outfits.
Country squire, huh?
Let's all wear the tweeds.
How are you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Real 1982, does that?
Yeah. I want to do one thing.
Sure.
I wouldn't normally do this, but I wanted to say Happy New Year to all the crew and the officers on the Canadian submarine Okanagan, which is not terribly important, but it is to them. I was on board a submarine for the first time in my life.
This particular submarine you're talking about?
Yeah, and you are their favorite show.
You're kidding.
Yeah, and I think sometimes, you know, we don't think too much about Canada in general, but
Right.
Specifically,
This
guys
is a Canadian submarine.
Yeah, yeah.
I see.
A lot of ex-hockey players in about a $22 million boat cruising around the North Atlantic watching your show.
Hey, that's nice to know. What were you doing on that submarine?
I was in Boston. I was there on a business thing, presenting Emmys for the New England chapter of the Television Sciences and Academy, or whatever it is.
Television Academy of Arts and Sciences.
Blues. It was a big job.
Blues.
$2,500 job and all expenses. So
First class ticket?
Sure.
You betcha.
Well, with a soon-to-be a father-to-be, I'm doing lots of things
Grab
now
those
that I
when you
wouldn't.
can.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And anyway, I went on board the submarine, and they talked about you and so forth and so on. I couldn't, for the life of me, figure out how anybody could exist on one of those things. You have to be about 4'2".
Takes a peculiar kind of personality.
Most of them are short, very quiet, and I don't know how to describe it. Just sort of a glassy look in their eyes. I mean, there's nothing to do down there, you know, except well, I don't mean to be rude, but watch your show and read books, you know.
Is this a nuclear submarine?
No, it was not a nuclear sub. No, they wouldn't let me on board that, I wouldn't think. Yeah. But it was amazing that they could get the show, because when they were tied up, this is something like a $22 million thing.
I don't think they get it when it's underwater.
Well, they'd have to have one hell of a long cord to do that.
Yes.
But they do. They do, and that's what's incredible.
I didn't know you could transmit like that.
They had been using cassette tapes, and then they developed a thing for underwater that bounces off a satellite that gets shows and stuff. It's not the best picture in the world. I didn't go underwater. I just talked to the guys about this. But at the dock, this thing is not effective. So on the top of the mast at the conning tower, on this $8 million thing, they had a coat hanger tied to an electric plug that ran about 250 feet down to the officers' quarters, and they were watching your show.
That's like going kicking your TV when nothing works.
Yeah.
Right? You
well, anyway, I wanted to say hi to those guys because I said I would.
Glad to hear that. Well, have best wishes for New Year. What's the name of that sub again?
The Okanagan.
The Okanagan, fellas.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well.
Yeah.
Are you footballed out like I am? I'm just about...
yeah, just almost OD'd on about the 17th game today.
Right.
Having been an assistant director of athletics at Northwestern and being close to their football program, and to give you some idea how much aware I am of what's going on in football, that is the school that they won one game 4 years ago and then lost 31 in a row.
That's true.
So
don't you feel sorry for those kids?
No,
really?
No. When they went, the record was 28, and that was a must-lose game for them. And by God, I was proud of them. Boy, they got up for it and lost that sucker 55-3. And broke the record. And there's no stopping them now. They've lost 31. They could go on. I see 50, 55.
Yeah, right.
But there were three things that I noticed in all of these games. That every time they go to a picture of a player on the bench, they always go like they're number one. Now, that means that there has to be 42 number one teams in the country.
Yeah.
Okay? That guy with the multicolored pastel hair.
Oh, the
afro,
tricolored.
Wears a T-shirt that says Jesus is a linebacker or whatever it is he says on there. He's at every one of these games, and I can't figure out how he gets to them.
No.
And then...
A guy who would do that could figure out how to get to the game.
Well, that and the fact that every one of these kids, when they look into the camera, go, "Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom." Not once did any one of them ever say, "Hi, Dad."
That's right. We have nothing against moms, but you're right.
Why is that?
I don't know. Well, it's motherhood, you know. It's Americana. Hi, Mom. You don't say, "Hi, Dad." Would you, if you were out playing, you'd say, "Hi, Dad"?
No, I don't suppose I would, but I'd go number one and hi, Mom, too, I suppose.
Sure. It's part of America. That's what makes this country what it is today.
Why don't we do a commercial and come back and talk more about that?
You got it. We'll be right back. We'll put up our wire coat hanger for you folks who want to receive this show. We are talking with Mclean, Stevenson, Eddie Murphy, and Linda Hopkins are here tonight. We were talking about all the football players who are unable not to say hi, Mom.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of parenthood, you are close to becoming a father,
Yeah,
aren't
it's
you?
in the next 2 weeks.
Next 2 weeks?
Yeah. It's
Nervous?
really, yeah, I'm nervous because
Yeah.
I want to help Jenny. We've taken the Lamaze
Oh, yes, I'm
class,
very
the
familiar with
natural or prepared childbirth. I think we've got it down now to the point where if she does scream, she won't get stretch marks on her face. She's really got tremendous control.
Right.
And I've learned what I'm supposed
And
to do.
you are the helper.
I am the coach,
You're the coach, right?
as they say. Yeah.
Well, good. I wish you good luck with it.
Thank you. And I'll let you know the minute it... you said, I remember it was about 7 months ago that you said that Jenny, who used to work on the
Jenny
staff,
used to be a talent coordinator on The Tonight Show.
that
yes,
would be
I remember
allowed to
what it
leave, but the
one of the
requirement would be
conditions was
that
that
our firstborn would be yours
That's
as the
right.
guest host.
That's right. To raise as a guest host in any manner that I see fit.
Right. But she's doing great, and it won't be long.
Yeah. How about New Year's now? Do you make resolutions at all?
Yeah, I do. We had a very quiet night.
Yeah.
Being 10 days away from giving birth, we didn't go to your basic Wild Hollywood party. We
No
just
hats and horns.
sat there and had some carrot cake a la mode, 2 glasses of milk, and watched 3 Jimmy Stewart movies.
Carrot cake a la mode.
Yeah, it was a biggie. Yes, strangely enough, New Year's Eve has always been sort of I've never liked to go out. I think it was because of my father. We lived in a very small town, Bloomington, Illinois. And it's strange, everyone in Bloomington must be here.
So you didn't do
I mean,
much
it was
then?
really it's
Yeah.
a teeny tiny place.
So you didn't go out New Year's Eve? Or?
No, but it was because of my dad. My father would always say, we are not going out. If somebody is going to hit me, they're going to have to drive up the front drive, go right over the bird feeder, come through the mulberry bush, and right into the picture window, because that's where Mom and I are going to be. This was 35 years of New Year's like that.
That's right.
One night, we had a guy in our town, I won't say his name because he's still living, which proves that drinking isn't all that bad for you.
Or lucky.
No, this man really puts it away. I mean, he should have bought the farm 35 years
Yeah.
ago, but he still hits it early in the morning, goes all day, and a lot of practice.
Yeah.
Maybe that accounts for it. But this particular New Year, my father and mother were sitting there in front of the picture window with the eggnog, and I don't know, waiting for somebody to come into the bird feeder or whatever. And Walter, and I won't say his last name,
Okay.
Walter decided he was going to get home a little early. And sure enough, made a wrong turn, came up the drive, right over the mulberry bush, knocked over the bird feeder, and slam-bammed right into the picture window and damn near killed my mom and dad. It's a true story.
So, you see humor in this rather macabre situation, do you? Your parents almost were total. Do you find this?
Well, he was in his prime then. My father was a physician, and the practice was going real well, so I could have, God knows, gotten what. But he lived to be 80, so there wasn't much left,
Yeah.
except the old clubs and some socks that didn't fit. No, he was a dear man.
Yeah.
But New Year's, but I did make a few. In fact, I wrote them down.
You're joking.
No, I'm not joking.
Well, let's hope you are. Oh, come on.
Being married now in a different position, I felt that these are some of the things I should start thinking about,
Settling type of influences.
Like, I'm not going to tell any more dumb jokes. I'm going to stop lending people my comb. I'm not going to any more restaurants where they offer a choice of vegetables.
I kind of like that one.
Well, I got a little tick the other night. It said choice of vegetables.
Right.
So I said, well, what are they? And he said asparagus.
That was your choice.
And I said, no, I mean, what's the choice? He says, the choice is, do you want them or don't you?
They didn't really lie then.
Right.
Choice was either acceptance or refusal, so that's understandable.
I'm not going to shop in any more supermarkets where they give you a cart with wiggly wheels.
Good.
Or if the cart has little pieces of dried up lettuce in it. I'm going to learn to speak Spanish.
Are you?
Yes, I want to know what our cleaning lady is saying to the gardener. I'm going to stop hanging my wet bathing suits and athletic supporters on my car aerial. Coming back from a friend's home swimming or a day at the beach,
Certainly.
I realized it could get tangled around the neck of a passing motorcyclist and slinging him into the oncoming traffic, so I want to avoid that.
Not a pretty sight.
I'm not going to use foot powder in my shoes when I go out to Japanese restaurants.
That's very good.
Yeah, I hit about 7 of those suckers this last year, and every time I'd leave, it looked like a Fred Astaire dance studio, so I won't be doing that. I'm going to stop worrying about whether elevators are safe. I have a thing about elevators. I've read a lot of articles. I haven't gone into therapy or anything, but I now know that elevators, on a scale of safe ways to travel, are, well, safer than a plane. Fewer people are killed in elevators than they are in airplanes.
That's because most elevators don't hold 480 people.
Well, that's also true. Also, take you a hell of a lot longer to get to Cleveland, but...
That's right. I never thought of that. Better yet.
I'm never going to get my hair styled in Chicago again.
Why's that?
I paid $37.50 to get a puff job. You know, one of those, try to make it look like you got more than you have.
Right.
In Chicago. It's too windy. I walked out of the Drake Hotel, and that $37.50 was just...
That's it.
It is the... In fact, somebody told me this. I don't know if it's true. It's so windy there. One day, the wind stopped blowing, and everybody in Chicago fell down.
That's windy. Windy City.
Right. And I'm also not going to eat anything purple. That's about it.
Nothing purple?
No, I had got some bad grape jelly and
Purple.
either that or the wine. So I'm not going to do that.
Those are well-intentioned.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
and I think you can probably
Did you
live
have a
up to
nice
it.
Christmas?
Very nice, yeah. My
We did too. It
children
was
out here and saw my folks, and very nice family
yeah,
get
it
together.
was a nice Christmas for me. We got it was funny. More people.
I didn't
were,
get a fruitcake, and that I was very thankful
I didn't
for
get
that.
a fruit cake or a smoked pheasant. Normally, you get one or both.
Smoked pheasant I like, but I got a fruitcake. I said, please don't send me a fruitcake, because
We got a lot of cards that said a gift of $25 million has been given in your name to the Foundation for the Terminally Bald. We got a lot of that stuff.
Nice to know that's being supported.
But people were giving, I think, a lot, you know, because of the economy, homemade things and cookies and stuff.
That's fine.
And that's where I got the bad grape jelly.
We got a turkey somebody sent us once, but apparently it had been delayed in the mail for some time. It was frozen when they had sent it. And we unwrapped this thing in foil. But the turkey had long since unthawed. And I want to tell you, that is grim when you open something like that. Really grim.
Yeah, that's hardly joy to the world.
No.